Hey! Welcome back to Boxes and Bubbles for another spoiler-free comic book review. Today we're looking at Static Season 1, Number 1 from DC Comics, written by Vita Ayala, art by Chriscross, colors and inks by Nikolas Draper-Ivey. Draper-Ivey? That's a really nice last name. And special shout out to the cover by Kerry Randolph and Emilia Lopez, the team behind the art on Excellence, which is another series you should definitely check out if you haven't. Something that I love about comics is, as a medium, it's such a joyful, collaborative, and progressive art form, on the creative side of things at least. There's so much going on in terms of representation in comics right now, but comics as a platform for people of color is producing some absolutely amazing books. Given that, I was eagerly awaiting Static since I saw the cover art when it was released ahead of the book, and when I heard that Vita Ayala, whose work on Children of the Atom I've really been loving, would be writing it. Issue 1 didn't blow my socks off in terms of story, but it's a solid starting point. And similar to the writing in Children of the Atom, Vita has an amazing talent for portraying realistic younger characters who act as one might expect, but internally there's a bit more introspection and intelligence there. So the first issue picks up after Infinite Frontier number 1, but if you didn't read that, it's no problem. The events are explained in here. Virgil was one of a group of students who was gassed in a protest. Many of the protesters died, but those who survived gained some different forms of superpower. Virgil, our protagonist, got himself some electricity powers, which he accidentally used on a guy at school who previously bullied him for years. Since then, everyone's walking on eggshells around him, and he doesn't really care for it. On top of that, there's a constant buzzing in his head which is driving him crazy. At school, Virgil finds out that Francis, the bully, also got powers. Later on at home, Virgil eats dinner with his family, and his parents and sister argue about the way they've been treating him since the incident. The art throughout the book is nice, but this is my favourite page. I really like the family's character designs and how the faces are drawn. There's no time to resolve the argument though, because Francis shows up at the house to get revenge on Virgil. Something particularly cool about the art in the fight sequence pages, the fire and lightning look like they're using an actual real light, like a long exposure photo or something, to give the powers a cool visual effect. There's also this really nice TV static type effect for big impacts. I don't think I've ever seen either thing done before, and it looks really cool. Anyway, as you might expect, the two get into it, and Virgil remembers that he can use his electricity to ionize oxygen and put out Francis's fire. So he thinks he's won the fight, but it doesn't end there. You have to read it yourself to see what happens, but it's pretty messed up. So, a bit of a shorter one today. And though we don't have any idea yet what Virgil's story will be in the long term, I'm definitely looking forward to finding out. In the meantime, if you're interested in any other books that came out this week, make sure you check out the rest of the channel where I'll be posting one short spoiler-free review every day. Thanks for coming out, and I'll see you around.